slowly re-entering regular life after our big trip. Well, it wasn't a big trip, but felt like a big trip. It is Monday afternoon right now, and it is also the last week of the month. So we're juggling a couple of things here. We're trying to squeeze out as much as we can from our grocery budget this month. So trying to just like lean into using up whatever we've got, doing lots of that, doing lots of scratch-made cooking. I'm mixing up a batch of muffins right now, gluten-free muffins. I'm gonna make half the batch blueberry muffins and half the batch chocolate chip muffins, and we'll see if the kids eat them. I don't know, I feel like I make muffins and sometimes they love them, and I make muffins sometimes and they're not interested, but we're gonna try and stretch our food this week with this. Also, I have got 3 loaves of sourdough in my fridge right now that are ready to bake up, so I'm going to get my cast iron heated up and ready for that. We're going to be doing lots of bread this week, okay? At least the kids are. So my husband and I, one of the ways that we stretch our food budget towards the end of the month is actually to do a fast. So right now my husband and I are doing a fast. We're creeping up on 24 hours. We're going to try and make it to 48. Now the caveat is I have not done an extended fast this long since November. So it's been several months. We don't do like a super long fast every month. That's not typical standard operating here, but we both just felt like after our trip it was a good time to like recalibrate, do a longer fast. I'm used to doing like 15 to 18 hour fasts on a pretty regular basis, and so is he. In fact, he usually does, I think, even longer, like 20-hour fast on a regular basis. But like I said, this is an extended one. We're just doing it to reset our bodies. We're feeling good so far. I'm gonna actually go with him to the gym in about 40 minutes, and I'm just gonna walk on the treadmill, just something super light, super easy. So we'll get some movement in. I'll bring my electrolytes with me, but also the kids and I went to the store today. We went to the grocery store. So let me show you what we got. We spent, $58.48. The kids were actually in charge of making the grocery list. They went to the store, they compared prices for each item and picked out the items, and I gave them a budget I wanted to stay within. So they did a really good job. It was a good learning experience for them, because I was realizing like they just expect me to buy all the things all the time, and they don't really appreciate that this bag of chips costs money, and this bag of chips needs to spend some time in the house. It needs to hang around for a while. It doesn't need to disappear the same day that it's brought home. So I figured if they have their own budget, at least for this 1 week, we're just kind of playing it by ear. If they have a budget, they get to pick out their items, and they are realizing this needs to last me all week, and I need to be responsible with that. Then that's a good life skill, right? So I got a gallon of milk. I just got a little container of soy milk. They picked out some snacky things. I actually have 2 bags of this. I think they already opened one and ate it with their lunch today. One of their big requests was Lunchable type of meal for this week. That was one of the things they really wanted, so I picked out some Lunchable type items. I told them each they needed to pick out a fruit and a vegetable. My son picked out red bell pepper. My daughter picked out carrots, which we still have in the fridge, so I said we can skip that. We don't need to buy any more right now. And then their fruit that they picked out was blueberries and strawberries. Now this was a good learning experience, picking out the berries, because all the berries are different prices in the organic versus conventional, and so many decisions to be made. Obviously for chocolate milk, this was important. This is for me. I need to start another batch of yogurt. This is what they had available at the store we went to, so this is what I grabbed. And then this is for me for a recipe later this week. You'll just have to wait and find out. and then some more half and half for my husband. So that was our total grocery haul to cover this week. So about 50, just under 60 bucks. And this will tide us over until I do our next big grocery haul at the beginning of March. I can't believe February is almost over. Anyways, I'm gonna get ready for the gym, but I will show you the bread and the muffins when it's all done, and I'll show you what we're eating throughout the week. We're gonna scratch make. We're gonna do no food left behind. We're gonna do no wasting anything. We're gonna make it through, okay? So let's get going. Happy Tuesday. We made it to Tuesday. Brokey. We made it to Tuesday. It is, almost noon? And my husband and I are getting ready to break our fast. I'm ready. I'm ready to break the fast. I'm hungry. It's been 44 hours. Didn't make it to 48, but that's okay. I'm ready to eat. The first 24 hours is always easy, for me at least. And the second 24 hours is not so easy. So I'm just warming up some broth on the stovetop right now, and I will drink that before I get to eating anything. But making some stuff for the kids right now for lunch. So this is the last of my shredded turkey that we cooked up. That was right after Christmas, right? So yeah, end of December. So I got 2 bags of this going into a bowl, and I've got some bacon I'm gonna chop up and throw in with it. We're just gonna do chicken bacon ranch, chicken salad, essentially. So this is the ranch that I'm using. Let's see, we'll do like 4 slices of bacon. This is already cooked up. I threw it in the oven and cooked it this morning while we were getting ready for the day. So I just have to chop it up and assemble it. And the kids love this as a meal. And Erin picked up treats for them at a local gluten-free bakery, so they can have their brookies after they have their lunch. Mom can figure out what she's eating after I have my broth. I might actually have some of this. I'm making a big batch, so it should be enough to go around for all of us. So I don't know, I might add more bacon to that. Nobody's ever sat with more bacon. Funnel? Funnel. Here's lunch all ready to go. I just prepped everything and they can dish up for themselves. And here is my nice big cup of broth. I got more to drink too. Is it really almost dinner time already? Technically it's like 3 o'clock, but in my defense, I have to be gone by 4 o'clock today for an appointment and sports and stuff. So we're gonna have like a really early dinner, which is fine by me because I just broke my fast like 3 hours ago, so I could use another meal. I could go for another meal right now. I ate some of the lunch that I prepared for them, and there was some leftover tuna salad in the fridge too, so I just kind of like picked and chose some things, and anyways, got some food in me. feeling re-energized. I got some food in me, but we're thinking about dinner. So I pulled this out of the freezer yesterday. This is just ground turkey that I bought at the beginning of the month. And we're gonna make it into like some turkey burger patties. I think that's it. That's basically it. I'll throw some fruit on a plate for the kids as well. I don't think we have any French fries in the freezer right now. We always do our burgers bunless because that's what works for us. We have kids that can't have gluten, and we haven't really found an affordable bun option, and so they just always just end up eating just the patty, and that's fine. We usually have fries or potatoes or something to go with it, but today we're kind of keeping it simple. So I have fresh sourdough. They can have a slice of sourdough bread with it. I've always got that on hand. And then, like I said, fruit. I'll throw that out with it. But the recipe that I use, let me show you. Found it. Took me a minute, but I found it. It's called The Best Turkey Burgers, and I can attest to the fact that they are very good. This is from a keto barbecue cookbook that I found at our local library. I think the name of the cookbook was literally Keto Barbecue, so you can try and find that if you want. It's a pound of ground turkey, some onion peeled and grated, a teaspoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon of Worcestershire, a teaspoon of liquid smoke, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, some garlic, some salt, and some pepper. You mix it all in and you cook them up, and it's delicious. So that's going to be dinner tonight. So let's get that going. Oh, how do you like that? How do you like that sunlight? I can't block it. It's right in my path right now. I just wanted to, full disclosure, I'm sitting in my car watching my daughter do gymnastics through the window, and my husband, he stopped by my favorite bakery on his way home from work today and brought me a keto, paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, fun-free protein brownie. This is like my guilty pleasure lately. I'll show it to you. It has like raspberries on top. Anyways, he gave that to me and I was like, I better not break my fast with that because that would be a bad idea. But I will eat it. So this is what I'm eating. I had my good high protein, all the good stuff meals, and now I'm going to splurge with my keto protein brownie, my fun-free brownie. So anyways, this is my treat for the night, and then tomorrow we'll be back to regular eating. So off we go. We made it to Wednesday. We did make it to Wednesday. It is approaching dinner time on Wednesday. I'll be totally honest with you. It was a really hard homeschool day, and on top of a really hard homeschool day, I'm trying to map out the month of March in my head and on paper. In fact, I've got a meal plan I've been working on today. Actually the last couple days I've been slowly ticking away at it. And I'm working on my video schedule for what videos I want to get out, what days, and when I'm filming. And I feel like life's getting more complicated. And so I didn't film our lunch today. I meant to, and it didn't happen. The kids ended up having their Lunchables that they picked out at the store at the beginning of the week. They wanted to do a Lunchable lunch day, so that ended up happening today because Mom needed an easy win today at lunchtime. My yogurt that I started 2 days ago now, it finished early this morning and I stuck it in the fridge, and I ended up having my yogurt for my lunch along with a little bit of the leftover chicken bacon ranch business that's been happening. Tonight for dinner, we're kind of just throwing stuff together. Like I said, we're stretching all the food that's left in our house right now, so let's dig through the fridge and the freezer and see what we can come up with to feed ourselves tonight. Okay, so in the freezer, kids are playing with the kittens. Penny, shh. Can you take them in your bedroom and play with them? for a few minutes?
I'm gonna go to the neighbors where you want dinner. Call me back when dinner's ready.
Okay, probably be like an hour. So you got plenty of time. So these are the salmon cakes. Remember that giant batch of protein that I did? That was back at the end of December. I'll link to that video below if you're interested in watching it and you haven't watched it yet. We made all of these salmon patties. We made many pounds of meatballs. The meatballs are all gone. They're all been eaten, but these are still hanging around. So I am gonna cook these up for me and my husband. Sorry, kids running in and out of doors. They're both going to the neighbors to play because they're like, mom's filming. That's no fun. I always make them go play outside or do something else. They're super loud if they're in the living room. So anyway, side note, kids, they're having fun doing something else. So where was I? Lost my train of thought. So me and my husband are gonna eat these. Me and Aaron will have these for dinner tonight. I'll probably just put some like aioli on top of them. I do have these last little bits of riced cauliflower, which I will probably use one up for myself. My husband's not crazy about them, but I don't know. If you throw enough butter in it, it's fine. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's fine. So that'll be our dinner tonight. The kids, not so sure. Let's see here. Oh, I still have chili left in here. I have another serving's worth at least. And my son will happily eat that. And my daughter, she can either finish off this chicken bacon ranch salad that we got going in here, or I have some pancakes left over from the weekend. My husband made pancakes on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. Saturday we got home from our trip, so Sunday morning, yeah, we whipped up some fun breakfast. So if somebody wants breakfast for dinner, they can do that. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's gonna cover it. I do have fruits and veggies still in the fridge. They have their strawberries and blueberries, as well as carrots and bell peppers. Those are their fruits and veggies of choice these days. So I can throw that on a plate with chicken bacon ranch if I want. We'll make it into a rounded dish. I will show you. We'll make it into a well thought out meal at some point, okay? Let's see, but the rest of the week, what do we got? We're gonna do a surf and turf night coming up here. And we're gonna do a pulled pork night, right? Yeah, I think those are my next two big meals that are happening Thursday, Friday. So, anyways, we're just thinking ahead. My whole day, I feel like I have spent my whole day thinking about the future, which is exhausting. My husband says I'm too much of a planner, and there's probably some truth to that, but I like to be a planner. So, you know, we're just gonna accept it and we're gonna live with it. But I'm excited to get all of our March meals planned, write out my grocery list. That's gonna be happening soon. Stay tuned for my big monthly grocery haul. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna do it with me, okay? Thursday. Hello, Thursday. Okay, Thursday. It's 4:30 and I'm dragging. I know I need to get going and I just can't get the motivation. So, but I need to set the record straight here for something, because the last video I did where I talked about the crab. Okay, I got another, this is the other one. We got to eat them up because, yeah, they weren't prepared in a way that they were like gonna be good in the freezer for a long time. So we got these, what, like a month ago? I can't remember exactly. Anyways, my in-laws, they went crabbing and they gave us 2 crabs. So we ate the other one a couple weeks ago. We're eating this one tonight. But let's set the record straight, because my dad literally texted me as he was watching the video, and he was like, how do you not remember what kind of crab that is? Sorry, Dad. You raised me right. I do know what this crab is. I just couldn't think of it at the moment, okay? Okay, give me a pass. Give me a pass, Dad. So this is Dungeness crab. Thank you very much. Just setting the record straight, okay? My dad was very disappointed that I could not remember the name of the crab. So I'm gonna shell this. I'm gonna get all the meat out of it. I did have big plans to make it into crab cakes, but my motivation is like plummeting right now. I've been super tired today. I don't know. It was a good day. I was just really tired. I laid down on the couch for a little while. So, okay, gonna shell that and get that going. This is some tenderloin steaks. I believe there's 2 in each pack. So we're gonna unpack these and cook these up, and we're gonna do a surf and turf tonight, okay? Okay, that sounds great. Sounds like a lot of work, but it sounds great. If you hear a weird noise in the background, that's our cat toy. Yes, I accidentally bought a cat toy that makes noise. And then tomorrow we're gonna be doing pulled pork. So I just pulled this out of the freezer just a few minutes ago. It's still solid, but I will be throwing this in the crock pot tomorrow morning, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing with that. But also, okay, this book, hold on, let me show you this book. I've been reading this like a novel the last couple days. Dairy-Free Keto Cooking by Kendra Hawley. And I've got so many different recipes marked. You can see my little markings. I just borrowed this from the library, and I've had it for like a month now. So obviously nobody else has requested it. Otherwise they'd be yelling at me to return it. But I was inspired when I was writing out our recipes for the next month, and I think we're gonna try and do a soup night once a week for the whole month, which we're not huge soup people, but there was a couple things in here that really stood out to me, and so I was like, let's do that. Like, they have a cabbage roll soup, which I was like, I could do corned beef cabbage roll soup for like St. Patrick's Day. And then they had an easy peasy wontonless soup, which I asked my husband, I got his okay on it before I added them to our recipes, because he gets annoyed sometimes that I'm constantly trying new things. And he's like, can we just eat the same things that I know I like? Anyways, he said this looked good too. So we're gonna try out that recipe next month. There's also a clam chowder in here. And he's a huge clam chowder lover, but we haven't had clam chowder in ever. I don't think I've ever made clam chowder because I can't have it. But this is a dairy-free version, but you can add heavy cream to your individual bowl if you want to make it, extra creamy. But I thought, like, this is a great keto recipe to try. So anyways, I haven't even made it all the way through, and I'm like, yep to this and yep to that. And then this recipe back here, hold on. There's a dinner roll, a keto dinner roll recipe. So I think I might try making this tomorrow to go with our pulled pork. We'll see. We'll see how much motivation I have tomorrow. Anyways, just lots of fun things. This is a great resource if you have to be dairy-free and you're trying to follow keto, which is our household dilemma right now. Is I'm a dairy-free person. My husband's trying to do keto. So like, how do we make those two worlds merge in a way that makes sense? Anyways, I'm gonna get going on this, and I will show you dinner when it's all done. Yay, we made it through today. And then tomorrow, yes, pulled pork sandwiches. So we're getting there. We're almost all the way through the week, and we're using up stuff from our freezer, which makes me happy. I think I'm gonna be able to stay like I'm gonna have a really cool, good budget, I think, for the month of March for our groceries. Fingers crossed, we'll be able to keep like a real budget grocery haul, right? Okay, let me get to work before I lose motivation again. And this is how our surf and turf dinner turned out on Thursday night. It was delicious. We had a whole bunch of steak and a little bowl of crab. That's all that came out of that big crab. So we were dishing up plates and setting everything out. Friday morning, I woke up and the kids were begging me to make another batch of muffins. So they had already eaten through that entire batch that I had made at the beginning of the week. So I got to work making another batch. I was getting it all dished up, and I was inspired to also do some keto muffins while I was at it because they sounded so good, the muffins I was making for the kids, and I was just craving something so bad. So this is the regular gluten-free batch that I made for the kids, and then afterwards I am going to mix up a keto recipe that I kind of improvised to make work for us and the things that we like to taste. So these keto muffins that I made turned out so perfect. I actually wish I would have written down exactly what I had done because, like I said, I improvised a bit, but I will figure it out and I will share it with you next time. Now I am getting ready our pulled pork for dinner that we're going to be doing Friday night. I'm just trying to get all of my kitchen projects done first thing in the morning so I don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. This is a can of root beer. I got like a healthy version because my husband really doesn't want to do any type of sugar right now. But you just pour it on top of the meat, you plug in the crock pot, and you let it sit all day on low, and it turns out really perfect. The root beer really gives it an interesting flavor, and it tenderizes the meat really nicely. So that's what I have always done. I used to use just traditional root beer, but now I use a healthier version. And it is keto approved. And in the midst of all of this kitchen craziness, I am trying to whip up myself some breakfast to eat, but these are the keto muffins. And then that afternoon when we got home from all of our outings, I decided to try my hand at these keto dinner roll recipes. So it actually ended up turning out, I was impressed. I mean, it's definitely not bread, but you know, you take your wins when you can get them. I did not have any actual psyllium husk powder on hand, so I ended up opening a bunch of capsules and using that in this recipe because it does call for psyllium husk, and I just, like I said, we're trying to use up what we got in the house, but we had a huge jar of it. So I wasn't too sad about using up some of those capsules. I'm showing you everything that was in it. I will share the full recipe with you another time. I was just really trying this out to see if it was even worth anybody's time. So now that it's been tested and tried and proven, we will get to sharing it in the future.
When you do the pulled pork with the root beer in the crock pot, I definitely recommend draining out whatever root beer is left over after the cooking process. You just want it for the tenderizing and to add just a small amount of flavor, but you don't want your meat to taste like root beer. So you drain out the liquid, you shred it, and you can add sauce as you please and throw it on a roll, and it is absolutely delicious. My son actually asked, can we have this more often? So we're going to put it on the schedule for next month as well because it was a winner. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.